Welcome to my channel. Are you familiar with what's going on in Atlanta, Georgia? That's what we're going to talk about. But before we do that, I need to thank every single one of you that has come to my channel and watched my videos, every one of you that has subscribed to my channel, and every one of you that has liked, commented, or shared my videos. I really appreciate the traffic. The channel wouldn't exist without you, and I thank you very much for that. Are you familiar with George Soros? I'm going to assume that you are. I usually don't assume much, but I'll assume that. If you're not familiar with who George Soros is, you can look him up on the web. He's a very wealthy man, and he is a backer of extremely radical left-wing causes. He has two projects that he has supported with lots of money. One is the Secretary of State project, and the other is the Attorneys General project. The idea behind these two projects is to get control of the Secretaries of State of the states and to get control of the Attorneys General of the states and district attorneys as well. And the reasoning behind it is, if you control the Secretary of State, and I'm going to put these links in the description so that you'll be able to look them up for yourself. If you control the Secretary of State, you control the elections. Because the Secretary of State is the one who determines how an election will be run, how the votes will be counted, which votes will be thrown out, who wins, who loses. They have a lot of power. And so Soros created this project called the Secretary of State Project, specifically with the goal in mind of electing secretaries of state in every state that are lined up with his radical left-wing agenda. Now, they've recently had a setback. They had 5 of 7 candidates that were backed by Soros. This is in 2010 that did not get elected. But they still have 11 of 18 election reform candidates in key states like Minnesota since they began funding candidates in 2006. And they say winning in these states has made a difference already, and now we're gearing up for more wins in 2012. And trust me, they're still gearing up for more wins in 2023, 2024, and on ad nauseum, ad infinitum. Their goal is to take over every Secretary of State in the nation and get someone in there who will control the elections so that Democrats win. The Prosecutors Project has a similar goal, and that's to replace every prosecutor in the nation with prosecutors who are for the radical left-wing agenda, defunding the police, not prosecuting what they call minor crimes, and just generally wreaking havoc with our legal system. And you can see they have a total of 70. One of those Soros-backed prosecutors is a woman named Fani Willis. And if you're not familiar with Fani Willis, she is the district attorney that is trying Trump, along with a number of other defendants, in Georgia for violations of the Georgia RICO statute. Well, it looks like that project has gone awry because, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, one of the attorneys in the case filed papers with the state, or with the court, saying that Fani Willis improperly hired an alleged romantic partner to prosecute Donald Trump and financially benefited from their relationship. The bombshell public filing alleged that Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, a private attorney, paid for lavish vacations that he took with Willis using the Fulton County funds his law firm received. County records show that Wade, who had played a prominent role in the election interference case, has been paid nearly $650,000 in legal fees since January 2022. The DA authorizes his compensation. The DA is Fani Willis. The motion, filed on behalf of defendant Michael Roman, a former Trump campaign official, seeks to have the charges against Roman dismissed and for Willis, Wade, and the entire DA's office to be disqualified from further prosecution of the case. The representative for Willis said the DA's office will respond to Roman's allegations through appropriate court filings. So, obviously, judges can rule any way they want. They should be ruling according to the law, but we all know that that's not the case in every case. But this has the potential for taking down the Trump prosecution in Georgia, completely destroying it. If the judge does what this attorney is asking and removes the DA and her office and the special prosecutor from the case, then who's going to prosecute it? Would have to be the Attorney General of Georgia, I would think, and he's a Republican. He's not going to do that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It says the document offers no concrete proof of the romantic ties between Willis and Wade, but what this attorney did was Wade filed for divorce, and he had his divorce papers sealed, but she got copies before they were sealed by the court. So she has said, this is the attorney, Ashley Merchant, she's not going to reveal those files because they're sealed, but she will reveal them if the court unseals them, and she has asked the court to do that. And those documents apparently document the affair that Fani Willis had with Mr. Wade. So if these allegations are true, as Ashley Merchant, the attorney, points out, they could result, and I know that's not going to happen, but potentially they could result in Fani Willis being charged with federal felonies. Now, we all know with the present Department of Justice that we have, that's never going to happen. But getting her thrown off the case is a good possibility, and if that happens, then the Trump case in Georgia collapses. And there are some that are saying that that case was the most likely case to succeed. So that would be a tremendous blow, and it would certainly benefit Trump because he would stop having to spend money to attorneys to defend that case. And it raises some questions in my mind because there were some people that pled guilty to lesser charges in order to avoid having the expense of going to court. So you have to wonder, would they then go back to the court and ask for those charges to be rescinded? Or I don't know what the legal term is or whether it's even possible. But it would seem to me they would have the right to request that their pleas be removed and their case be dismissed with no charges at all. So it'll be very interesting to see where this goes. As you obviously know, if you're paying any attention at all, this is all just political shenanigans to try and get Trump out so he can't run for president. Because they're scared to death of him. Now, I can't say I really would look forward to another Trump term. I mean, I would look forward to more than to a Biden term, that's for sure. And by the way, I'm using a virtual background tonight. I just wanted to mention that and ask you to put in the comments if you like it or don't like it. It's a little bit funky. It kind of, if I raise my hand, you can see it kind of disappears in places. It's a computer background, generated background, and so it's not perfect. But it saves me having to put up the screen that I've been using. And I'm going to fiddle with it. I may use some different backgrounds, try different things. We'll see. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that. Getting back to the case, or Trump, rather, I can't say I really look forward to another 4 years of Trump because I felt like Trump was disappointing in his last term. He didn't do what he said he was going to do, which was clean out the Aegean stables. And I feel like he could have done more, but he didn't. And we really need someone who's going to, just go into Washington and tear it up. We need the FBI to be shut down and for a brand new organization to be built with rules in place that protect them from ever turning into the corrupt, partisan pile of garbage that they are now. We need the same rules for the State Department, for the CIA, for the NSA, for so many things. It's just unbelievable how thoroughly corrupt our government is. But it's going to take somebody who is tougher than nails to do that. And I don't know if Trump's got that in him. I really don't. But it sure looks like he's going to be the Republican candidate. Nobody else is close to him, and he's got a whole lot of supporters all across the country. So, and then of course there's the other issue of, do the Democrats manage to do enough to steal the election again? But all these things are in the future. Right now, I just want you to think about this one case and the situation that it's gotten into. Whenever you have people in positions of power that are partisans, whether they're on the right or the left, you can usually find they've got plenty of things in their closet. Because they're not principled people. They don't stand on the Constitution. They don't stand on what's right. They stand on their partisan desires. And so they obviously are not ethical. And because they're not ethical and they are corrupt, they have things in their personal lives that can be dug up and turned over and cause all sorts of disruption. So we'll see where this goes. We should get some news on it in the future. Who knows when? Courts move slower than molasses. But it'll be interesting to pay attention to this one. As always with my viewers, I pray that you'll be abundant, that you'll live a long life, that you will be healthy throughout that life, and that God will keep you safe from harm. And I pray that He'll do the same for every person that you love. And I also pray that you will be anxious for nothing, but in all things, through prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, you will let your requests be made known to God. And the peace that passes all understanding will keep your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. This is the Vietnam Era Vet, out.